Hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for this week's video. A lot of you wrote to me asking how did Anna react when she came home last week after my furniture staining incident. The varnish on the furniture has dried. It's a catastrophe, but it looks like it has been painted by a child, by somebody who should never again touch a brush in his life. When I put the varnish on, the stain went away. I don't know how to show that to Anna. She's coming back in a couple of days, yet alone. Benoit. I mean, if he has a good day, he's gonna kill me. If he has a bad day, he's gonna torture me first and then kill me. Well, for the sake of PG rating, I didn't film that scene. However, I know you are curious and you want to know what happened, and that's why we decided to reenact that moment. Here we go. Hello Anna, how was your trip?
I had a great time in the factory. How did the furniture turn out?
Well, I would say it was a bit complicated.
Oh, I see. Did you read the instructions?
I did. I read the opening chapter.
Well done. I'm so sorry. It must have been a stressful experience. It is most likely not your fault. But even if it is human to make mistakes. And I do love you no matter what.
Thank you. So that's almost exactly what happened. I still have to sleep in the cellar, but if I behave well, Anna said, she's gonna double my ratio of bread and water for next week. On the bright side, I reached out to the company that makes these products. They have a shop in Paris. I will go to the shop and they will explain to me how I should have used the products. They will give me new products and I will rescue this piece of furniture and you will see this probably next week.
Today is a big day because we are finally going to have the floors sanded in the dressing room and the bedroom. And we have been waiting for ages and it's almost like the finishing touch. So this is very exciting. How are you feeling, Philip?
I'm super excited because that was holding us up. That's the last thing to do in this room, apart from little details like lights, wallpapering, and putting handles on. But once this is done, we can move in.
Oh my goodness, it is finished. The floor is looking amazing. I'm so happy with it. Can't believe it. It looks brand new almost. You would never know that this floor is 200 years old. It looks amazing. He's done such a great job with it and you can't feel it on the camera, on the screen, but it's very silky. It's smooth and it also smells really good in here. It smells really woody and it's just finished this room off. I mean, we still have a few things to do in here, but it's really looking like a room now and not like a building site anymore. I'm so happy.
All right, Anna. What are you up to?
I'm busy printing. I'm just printing the little hand-printed cards that I'm gonna send out with all of my wallpaper orders. So I've done 39.
And how many do you need to do?
450.
So
I'm
12 times more.
I'm almost there.
Almost there.
Yeah, I've only been printing for like, let's say half an hour.
They're very pretty though.
So it matches the midnight blue color of the wallpaper.
And you made a carving just for these cards, right?
Yeah, exactly. It comes from the wallpaper design, but I made a mini version.
Yeah, that's
like
beautiful. Oh,
and then I've just got to,
very pretty.
I'm hoping to get this finished probably, well, if I might do an all-nighter, like back in my fashion days, because I do need to get them sent out pretty quick to be at our warehouse in the UK to be sent out with the orders.
Well, if you want, I can do some of them.
Yeah, you want to have a go? I'm not sure actually. Don't know if I trust you. But yes, I've mixed up some colour so to match, and I'm hoping it's enough. And then I'm just literally. I'm literally. And then all I do is print like this. I've got this handy little press.
So, and each person who buys a wallpaper,
Yeah.
at least one roll of wallpaper, receives one of these cards, right?
Yes.
And they are numbered and
They're going to be numbered and signed.
signed by me.
You can sign them if you want.
No, I think they want your signature probably.
Okay.
Well, I could sign one of them.
You see? Ta-da.
It's beautiful. Really, really nice.
I think it just makes it a little bit more special, and yeah, I'm just so grateful to anybody who does purchase my wallpaper. So this is my way of saying thank you. Made with love and quite a few hours of time.
I'm gonna cook for you.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna feed you and make you drinks and everything. So
Drinks.
that's my participation.
Maybe some wine.
Some wine. Then some of them will have wine stains.
No. Yeah, maybe that might not be a good idea actually. All right, Ella, we got another one to hang up?
There. Can I try to press down?
Okay, look, Ella's helping. Look. Careful, careful. Hang on, Ella, we need to lift it up a bit. And then, who's going to press it?
Me.
And Lily and Ella? Okay, and Sam.
It's a wonderful day because I just received a letter from Squarespace, which happens to be this week's ad. And these letters are generally congratulatory letters. And I wanted to share this nice moment with you. Dear Philip, in your recent video, you mentioned using Squarespace to create an online presence for your future furniture staining business. I knew they're gonna like that. While we are always enthusiastic about supporting creativity and entrepreneurship, both our legal and artistic team agree that in this particular case, it's important that viewers do not associate the Squarespace brand with your furniture staining business, whatever its name might be. Thank you for your understanding, and we look forward to seeing your continued success. Well, it doesn't matter, that's just legal stuff, they have to do that. Let's focus on the essentials, and that's that Squarespace is template-based, which means that you can start building your homepage by choosing a layout developed by professional graphic designers, which you then adapt to your specific needs. To make this even easier for you, they have a feature called Design Intelligence, a cutting-edge AI module, which helps you to create a more personalized page tailored to your unique style to achieve a bespoke digital identity across your entire online presence. There's now even a payment solution built in, so you can accept payments directly through Squarespace and accept major debit and credit cards, alongside other popular payment methods. Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And if you're ready to launch, head over to squarespace.com/howtorenovate-a-chateau to get 10% off your first webpage or domain.
Okay, so today is a very exciting day. If you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, you will have been following along as I developed my own passion flower wallpaper, my first ever professionally printed wallpaper. And last week I was at the factory in Lancashire in northern England having it printed, and look what just arrived. My own wallpaper has arrived. I've had 2 rolls of each colorway sent to me. Hopefully it is going to really transform this room, bring some character and just some interest and texture to the walls, because obviously at the moment they're just plain white. So I'm very excited to finally see this up after all of these months. Okay, hands up here. Who has tried wallpapering and it was a disaster and you found it really difficult? Or who is too intimidated because they think it's really difficult and they don't want to give it a go? Because I'm going to show you how easy it is to wallpaper today. I've done it a couple of times before, but I've always used a mix that I had to pre-mix myself, and it had to be applied onto the wallpaper. You needed a wallpapering table. You need to leave it to soak. It's a little bit fussy and complicated. And the great thing about this wallpaper that I've just developed is it's applied using a paste the wall method. So this is a whole new thing to me. I didn't know this until I've developed my wallpaper, but it is so much easier. So today I'm going to talk you through exactly the tools you need and the steps to wallpaper a room. Here's what you're going to need: your wallpaper roll, a pencil, a plumb line or laser, a cutting knife and some scissors, your tub of ready-made wallpaper adhesive, a paint tray and roller and paintbrush, a brush or scraper, and a sponge. Before you get started, you need to make sure that your wall is all prepped and clean. So if you have some wallpaper on it, you need to maybe remove that wallpaper, and if you need to fill any holes and sandpaper the wall so it's nice and smooth. I'm just going to be using an old rag here today to protect the floor, but you can use some plastic or something just to protect the floor from any splashes from the glue. So you're always going to start from left to right. And the first thing we need to do is, using our plumb line, I'm just going to be old school and use a plumb line, but you can also use a laser. I'm going to find a nice straight line, which is especially important here at the Chateau because, as we know from previous experience, a lot of these walls are very wonky and not straight. First thing we need to do is make a mark a little bit smaller than the width of the wallpaper. Okay. I'm going to put my string of my plumb line just holding on that point that I've just made, and I can use this to make a little mark a little bit lower down. I can also make it all the way down, and this is going to give us the guide for the first wallpaper. Okay, my paste is a little bit thick, so it's better if I apply it with this brush. So it's really good to use a brush when you're applying around the corners, like against the ceiling or against the wall, so you can get a really nice clean finish. And you want to paste a little bit over the mark that you made, so it's a little bit wide, that your glue is going a little bit wider than your wallpaper. Make sure you have glue covering all of the surfaces. Now we're ready to apply our first piece of wallpaper. So I'm going to be using my lines that I drew. And actually you want to have it placed a little bit over the ceiling. So you can see here I've placed it so it goes a little bit over, because then what we can do is I can use this wallpaper scraper, and you can just use that to sort of push your wallpaper into the crevice. And then we're going to use a Stanley knife to cut it really nicely and cleanly. And then you just use the scraper to smooth out. I mean, you can also use your hand a little bit. And this will just get rid of any air bubbles and make sure it's really well adhered onto the wall. And then, for example, with the door frame here, I'm just going to, again, use my little scraper, and I'm going to use that to sort of push my wallpaper into that notch, into that area, to get a really nice, clean finish. And once you have notched it and you
make a nice line, you can just either use your cutting knife, or I quite like to just cut it with a pair of scissors. So make sure you align your wallpaper really nicely and match up to the print. And then you can just use your scraper to make sure there's no bubbles. And then I started by cutting the excess piece off the top. And now around this edge here, around the door, I'm also going to cut it off. Again, I'm just going to lightly place it onto the wall, and then I'm going to use my wallpaper scraper. I don't know if it's called a wallpaper scraper, by the way. I'm just calling it that, but it's probably got an official name. So when you come to putting your next piece of wallpaper on, you want to try to align it and match up the print. You're going to have a little bit of overlap at the top. Slowly unroll it and just gently pat it down. The great thing with this technique is if it's not aligning perfectly, you can just simply remove the wallpaper and then reposition your paper so it's in the correct position. And you can do that several times until you're happy with how it's matching up. If you have any bubbles under the surface of your wallpaper, you can just use one of these wallpaper scrapers and you just press the ball of air out across until you get to the edge, and then it will be nice and adhered to the wall.
Ideally, you should do this before the wallpapering, but as you know, I was busy working my magic on the furniture. Have you seen that ninja catch?
So it's finished. What do you think?
I love it, Anna.
Yeah? I'm so happy with how it's turned out. It is such a surreal moment to see our wallpaper on the wall after all these months of everything from drawing it, to carving it, to printing it, and then going to the UK last week to see it being finally printed in the factory. I'm really happy with how this muted, beautiful blue-green colour has tied in now with the woodwork here. I think the great thing with this design is that it brings a lot of character to the room, but at the same time, it's sort of calm and staying in the background. So I think if we wanted to add in maybe a mirror or some more artwork on here, it could work perfectly just as like a textured background as well. And the exciting news is that from today onwards, this wallpaper is now going to be available to purchase on our website. So we're going to put the link over here and also in the description of this video. So if you're interested in having a look, there is only 150 rolls available. It's a limited batch, and we've also got the beautiful midnight colorway. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more striking and bold, there's also going to be 150 rolls of that available, as well as this beautiful French biscuit, which I love the name of this one.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's a very warm and inviting neutral color. It's this beautiful toned muted yellow color, and this one is also going to have 150 rolls. So we're quite limited on the amount that we have, but I'm excited. So if you want, go and have a look, go and check it out. Another important piece of information, everyone who buys at least one roll of this limited first edition of my wallpaper will receive one hand-signed, printed and numbered artwork as a special thank you.
You forgot to tell the two light switches.
Oh yes, that was extremely important, and look at them.
Extremely important detail, yeah.
No, it is the finishing touch. I mean,
it is the crowning of the crown.
It's almost like we color matched the wallpaper to the lights. They're that perfect. You can't even see them, they're camouflaged. Well, I'm very happy with how it's going, and now we just need to figure out some door handles maybe.
Yes, there's still a lot of things to do.